Hey Sean, here we go. We're getting ready to pull it out of the building. First time in 60 plus years this car's alive again. We got the brakes adjusted on it. We're going to pull it out, drive it around a little bit and see how she performs. So here we go.
Well, Doug, it's alive.
It is.
That is so exciting.
It is for real. It is for real. After 60 plus years.
Yep.
So.
I mean, you sent us the video a few weeks ago where you got it fired up, which was amazing in and of itself, but now it moves under its own power.
Yeah, and it actually drove pretty good. We drove it, what, maybe a block and a half, 2 blocks. It did well. We bring it back in, do a little more fine tuning, and then we're going to get it out on the road, put its fenders back on it, its grill back on it, and really turn into a good driver.
But what was amazing about it is, I mean, granted, I know you guys are masters here at this stuff, and I know they spent a ton of time on this thing, but this thing lights off like that.
Yeah,
it purrs like a kitten.
Well, I got to give credit to our technicians here. We have a couple guys here that know more about engines than anybody in the country, and to be able to make this dual overhead cam straight 8 purr like it does, and we had never built a Duesenberg J engine before. We built every Lycoming that Auburn has done for Auburn Cord from 1928 until 1937, except this particular engine. And now we've built one of these, and it is one complex engine. I mean, it was built by, you know, Duesenberg, which were racing champs, and it's literally a racing engine. And it's, I think you've got it in one of your other videos, but of course it's dual overhead cam and 4 valves per cylinder. The manual says it takes 40 hours just to adjust the valves. That's a true statement.
Now, we look at this engine and we see, obviously we can see where the dual overhead cams are and everything. And in today's world, dual overhead cam doesn't mean anything. Everything has it. This is 1920s technology.
Everything was just, was flatheads. So
right,
exactly. Even the V8s were flatheads.
Yeah.
So everything was a flathead. And then you get this dual overhead cam, like I say, with those 4 valves per cylinder. This was the ultimate. This car in their advertisement shows guaranteed to do 88 miles an hour in 2nd gear. And so, I mean, so these are an incredible car. Now we've got to drive it, and we'll play with it more. We're getting ready to load it up, take to Auburn, Indiana, Labor Day weekend. So any of your audience wants to see it in person, wants to look at it, sit in it, you're welcome to come to Auburn, Indiana, and have fun with this car.
And that's what the new owner wants to happen with it.
Yeah, he's so excited to show it off and to play with it and share as the way it was found, because out of the 400 and some odd Duesenbergs built, I think 481, 378 of them were known to exist, and only 2 had not been seen or documented. this was one of those two. So this one came out of a barn, one of two in the world that hadn't been seen since probably the 50s, maybe early 60s. It was actually registered with Auburn Cord Duesenberg Club in 1956. So it's been a known car, but it
just fell off the map.
Yep, and got locked away until we pulled her out, and then we brought it in, got her running good, and we're going to take her on to Auburn.
So you'll get the sheet metal back on it, get that amazing grill back on it,
Right.
those massive headlights,
Right.
and really make this thing look like it's supposed to, and take it to Auburn and have fun with it.
Right. Well, now what you're also going to see, you're going to get people say, why does it have a red engine? Because Duesenbergs were always the Duesenberg green. But when we got it, this had been restored, we think in 1951, or at least semi-restored. Had a paint job put on it, had some work done on it, a different interior put in it, and the engine painted red. So we wanted to take it to Auburn as found. And it was found with a red engine, so we're leaving it that way. This spring, next spring, it will come in and get a full concourse restoration. It'll probably take us 3 years to do it. And the engine, for your audience, will be green, so don't worry about it. It will go back green, and all the bling, even the manifold, will be green porcelain. So it'll be up to Duesenberg concourse quality.
And right now, the purpose of the car, what the owner wants is to let's enjoy it, get it running, get it
Right.
back out in the public eye.
Yeah.
After 60 years, these cars are, 378 of them known to exist. Most people have never seen one in person.
Right.
This is one of two cars that hadn't been seen in decades upon decades upon decades, and now it can be out there where people can see it. You can take pictures with it, stand in front of it, take pictures of the grill, which is the whole purpose of having these cars, to enjoy them.
Well, your audience will be very jealous. You've got to drive in a Duesenberg.
Yeah.
So this is a Duesenberg to drive and enjoy. And yeah, we're just glad to be a part of it, and we can't wait to get it to Auburn.
Now, was there anything really specific or weird other than the whole thing about this engine, but anything that really stands out about what you had to do to this?
Well, I mean, everything. I mean, literally, mechanically, it is now perfect. So we did everything internally to make it a perfect running Duesenberg engine. So all the time now will be spent on the bling and turn it into a piece of jewelry. But typically, we've been told that to rebuild a Duesenberg J engine is 8 to 12 months. So
8 to 12 months.
8 to 12 months to rebuild one of these. Well, our guys did it in the last 2.5 months. And everything replaced. If we didn't have the part, we sourced it, we outsourced it, we made it. So it's got new rods in it, new pistons in it, and it's fresh. It's a fresh engine internally, and then we'll do all the bling later on. So we're really proud of the work our technicians have done.
Well, it sure was exciting to see it moving under sun power. It was awesome to actually get to ride in it, and even ride in the rumble seat around. I made a few rounds in the rumble seat too. It's just an amazing car, and it's something that, like I said, most people don't get to see these things.
Yeah. No, this is it. This is as good as it gets.
So super exciting. And if you haven't caught the other videos, be sure to check all of them out. We've got the whole history from when Doug found this thing, all documented, all the way up to this point, to where it took it out and drove it around the lot today for the first time.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, and you got an Auburn Cord Duesenberg company.
Got Auburn Cord Duesenberg t-shirts. All right, yeah.
Yeah, we're Twinkies. I like it.
So be sure to check these guys out. You guys will be at Auburn. With
Labor Day weekend.
Labor Day weekend.
In just a few weeks.
And if you guys need parts, you're the place.
Yep, Auburn Cord Duesenberg Company.
And obviously, you guys can literally work on everything. Like I said, every Auburn Cord or now Duesenberg engine that they produced, you guys and your master technicians and master craftsmen have rebuilt, overhauled, and restored all those engines, supercharged engines, front wheel drive cord transmissions. You guys know them.
Yeah, we are Auburn Cord Duesenberg.
Yeah, and that I think is kind of an exclamation point on that statement, I think.
Yeah.
Well, Doug, thanks for sharing it with us. Thanks for giving me a ride.
Okay, thanks for
Appreciate it.
filming it.
And be sure to check them out. The first time in public in 60 plus years, Auburn, Indiana, Labor Day weekend. The first time this car will be back on display. They said what last time it was displayed was in 61?
They think it was seen in public in 61. That's
61.
last anybody's known. Yeah.
So well over 60 years since this car's been seen in public, but it will be back at Auburn for everyone to enjoy. Yep. Thanks for watching, everybody. Doug, thank you. I appreciate it. Be sure to check out the rest of the videos on this amazing car.